What's up everyone, and welcome to your Friday's edition of Reptile News. Now the video is coming out a little bit late today, and the reason why is, well, I shared a picture on the show's Facebook page. If I remember in editing, I'll try to show it here too, but the green screen behind me right about there was 105 degrees on the surface yesterday. It was hot. It was like 108 down here, and as most of you that have followed the show for some time know, that my little studio here where I film is uncooled, unheated, unconditioned in any way. So yeah, I was not filming. I was going to film later last night, but I just got exhausted. So I am filming this morning, and it is currently 7:37 in the morning. And you know what's weird? I've got my Dinosaur cup of half full of coffee right now, but it's weird filming in the morning like this because I'm just not used to it. But with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So apparently over in Australia, Queensland to be more exact, there was a Goanna attack. And you know, it's funny because I saw multiple news stories about this, and I passed up a bunch of them, and then I was intrigued because I couldn't think of ever hearing about this before. I'm sure it's more common than I know about. After all, I live very far away from Australia, but fortunately, apparently this Goanna attacked a dog, and an elderly couple was injured trying to save their dog, you know. And apparently the man was injured pretty severely, cut up on his arms and legs, and lost a significant amount of blood. And although this particular article doesn't necessarily say so, many of the other headlines said that the dog was killed. And it brings up a very interesting topic. I mean, hopefully these people are okay. I don't know what's going on with the Goanna, although the reports from officials, the statements from officials, they don't really say. I'm assuming nothing, because I know in Australia, or I believe in Australia, wildlife is held at a much higher class standard, I guess you could say, than here in America, which I guess is good. It's like I said, it's an unfortunate incident, but what can you do? Hopefully they have a speedy recovery. And yeah, let's just move on. About a story out of Midwestern University. I love when these stories come out. I really do. I love when they come out, but I don't like when they come out with very little information. And in this particular article, they're talking about a new dinosaur species that they found from the Triassic period. Now, from the artist's rendition, this seems to be like an arboreal species of dinosaur, and they're saying that its fossil was found in rocks 236 to 227 million years old. And stuff like this is very interesting to me. Like I've said multiple times, I think we've talked about new old fossil species found a few times in the last month or so, and they say that they're paying particular attention to its teeth and skull structure, as they believe that is very important. But like I said, there was not the article left a lot to be desired in information. And even though I don't like to get into a lot of sciencey type stuff on here because it just includes a lot of big words that I don't understand and can't pronounce, I really do wish there was more to this, and I absolutely will be keeping my eye on it for more information coming out in the future. And now we're going to move on to kind of another cool stuff, not about a new species, but about protection of a species, where a third-year PhD student from the University of Oklahoma is kind of heading up a project to save the Texas horned lizard. Now, we spoke about horned lizards, not really in depth, but just a few episode ago, about how they used to be around a lot. Now you just don't see them, and this article just kind of reiterates that. Now, this third-year PhD student, like I said, from the University of Oklahoma, is working with a Sam Noble Museum, the Oklahoma City Zoo, and trying to find a way to preserve them. Now, they are saying that Tinker Air Force Base, I think I pronounced that right, Tinker Air Force Base, has a protected natural area where about 100 of these lizards thrive. And one of the things that they're talking about is a Head Start program. Now, out west here, I'm not sure necessarily in California, I think maybe Oregon, maybe higher up north, they've been working on Head Start programs for the western pond turtles for years now. And while the Texas horned lizard is classified as threatened, they're trying to get its status changed to endangered. And I absolutely love reading about these stories because, humans meaning human beings, have done so much through the years to just destroy the environment and the areas that a lot of these animals live in, that it's really nice to see people just dedicating their lives to trying to help that. And I wish I could do more. I wish a lot of people could do more. But unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is just out of a lot of people's reach. But this was an awesome story. I highly recommend everybody go look at it, read it, understand it, and take part if you can. And now we're going to move on to Ohio, where unfortunately a crocodile was found in a river. Apparently some students were playing around in the river when this crocodile was found. Now another unfortunate part of this story is they called out an officer from the Department of Natural Resources who, when the crocodile surfaced, shot and killed it. They did take the crocodile away to be tested to see if it was chipped or anything like that, to see if it was maybe from a private owner or something, which I hate having to say this, and I'm sure most of you on here already know this, but a crocodile in Ohio absolutely came from a private owner. They don't live in the wild there, and I hate hearing about it, and it happens the same way all the time. I mean, this particular crocodile was 7 feet long. These things just get to a certain size and people let them go, and it's very unfortunate, and it makes me so angry every time we have to talk about this. Every time I read about this, it really frustrates me that this stuff is still going on. And it also brings up a good conversation that maybe we can have in the comments down below about this particular crocodile being killed. Now, I don't know the circumstances. I wasn't there, but I'm just assuming that an officer with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources probably isn't trained in catching a 7-foot apex predator like that. I'm just guessing that he did what he thought was the only thing he can do to, in the name of safety for people in this public area. Now, they do mention in this article that the children were put up kind of on a bridge thing up above where this crocodile was, and it moved towards them under the bridge, and it appeared to be not afraid of people at all, which, I mean, let's face it, if you're a 7-foot crocodile, you're not really afraid of people, I guess. But the point being is, I wonder whether they shouldn't have made an effort to catch it, or maybe the guy just made the best decision he could considering the circumstances. I don't know, but I would love to know what you think. Let me know in those comments down below. And now I want to move on to a little topic about this channel. It was a little something funny, and you know, it's not 100% reptile related. It is related to the channel, but I debated talking about this, but then I thought if I don't talk about it, make it public out there, things like this will never get fixed. And this channel really does not have virtually no reach, so it's not like this is going to be something that goes viral and fixes a big problem, but hopefully it can contribute to a fix. Now, the other day we had talked about a story with the king snake that was eating itself, and the guy filmed himself, Jesse was his name, getting the rear end of the snake out of its own mouth. And the funny thing is I did mention in that video, because I had a part of the original clip in there, that hopefully I don't get copyright claimed, and I did this morning. Just this morning I got copyright claimed for that video. And the funny thing is the copyright claim hit the second that video came on the screen to the second that it went away, and I thought, well, crap, okay, well, it happens. But then I dug a little deeper and realized that the organization, the news place that hit me with this copyright had nothing to do with the original story or the video. The video came from a Facebook post on this guy's page, and when I dug even deeper into it, I realized that this is one of these people or places out there that just go around and take a bunch of news stories, videos, and re-upload them to their channel, and then they go and use the content ID match that YouTube provides them, being a partner, to hit everybody with copyright claims, even though they technically have no claim to it at all. They themselves should be the one being hit with the copyright claim, just because of the business practice they're in. So I absolutely did dispute this claim. I haven't heard anything about it. I hear that the first dispute they always uphold, but usually with this place, the second dispute is the whole thing gets dropped. And I really don't care about monetization, because I'm no longer a YouTube partner anyway, so I don't monetize anyway, so I don't care about that. But what I do care about is shady people or places like this doing the kind of stuff they do. And that's about all I got to talk about that. Hey, if anybody else gets as frustrated as me about this, I highly urge everybody to go start complaining to YouTube about this kind of stuff happening, because it's very clear when it happens who it is, and the fact that these pages are allowed to stay open, it's beyond me and extremely frustrating. And that, my friends, has been all your news for this Friday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, those links are right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you Monday.